picture because we're going to let the baseball folks go first so they can get to practice for their playoff game tomorrow. So just be patient for another minute. We'll get a group picture first. Good afternoon, and welcome to our final college recognition ceremony for the class of 2022. Today we have 12 outstanding student athletes sitting before you that have committed to pursuing their academic and athletic careers at the next level. On behalf of Quakertown Community High School, congratulations to these dedicated student athletes being honored today. Let me introduce them to you before we hear from their coaches and the athletes themselves. Brandon Pierce will be playing baseball at Chesapeake College. Zoe Carsonis will be running track and field at Immaculata University. Sammy Radzai will also be competing in track and field at Westchester University. Jade Williams will be competing in track and field with Sammy at Westchester University. Abby Gilmer will be cheerleading at Robert Morris University. Caden McSeed will be playing soccer at Eastern University. Blake Griesemer will be attending Lock Haven University to play football. Dylan Harrison will be attending Wilkes University for football. Freddie Redder will be playing football at Kutztown University. Anthony Schiller will be playing football at Widener University. Will Stike will also be going to Widener University to play football. And joining those two at Widener University will be Tyler Woodman to play football. Next, we're going to hear from the coaches of these athletes to tell us some important things, some fun things, some statistics, some accolades, and hear a little bit about their seasons and their four-year careers. We're going to start with baseball and Coach Plum.
First, I just want to start off by saying congratulations to all the athletes up here, student athletes up here. You guys have worked really hard in the classroom and on the field and preparing for everything. And congratulations, it's no small feat. Good luck to you in the next several years in your future. For Brandon, where do you start with Brandon? He certainly is an experience in and of himself. So over the last 4 years of getting to know Brandon, he's grown so much on and off the field, and it's been such a pleasure to witness that growth. He found a great fit at Chesapeake, and that decision demonstrates the growth that he's made. Many players just chase the Division I and Division II dream and don't consider all of the variables. He's weighed all those variables, found a great program with a high level of baseball that fits him. The last 2 years, Brandon's batted either second or third for the team and has been a key contributor for us. He's made all-league each season. When I think of the most memorable moment for Brandon, I think about the bus ride back from Lower Moreland after we hit five home runs in 1 inning, and I told all the guys that they were all flares that just went over because of the wind going out. Although Brandon's was a no-doubter that would have gone out in a much deeper field with the wind blowing in. But he got a little bit upset about that on the bus. So it's easy to get him riled up a little bit. But there's countless other memories with Brandon as well. Brandon worked his way to being a captain for us during the season this year. He often does many small things that people don't usually notice and speaks up when things need to be said. One such example is early in the season at Myrtle Beach. We were at the JV scrimmage, and one of the guys hit a ground ball to the right side with 2 strikes to move a runner over, and he made the whole entire team, varsity guys, JV guys, get up and go celebrate that guy who sacrificed his at-bat to move a runner over to help the team win. Another situation earlier in the year as well, at batting practice, the day after hitting the home run, many of the players were trying to hit as many out of Memorial Park, one of the few times that we get to practice there. But they were trying to hit as many out of there as they can, and I don't think you hit a single ball out. And somebody even said something to him like, "Oh, so-and-so hit 4 out, so-and-so hit 3 out," and he's like, "I'm not trying to hit any out, I'm trying to find barrels so I can do better in the game the next time that we play." And I think that he doesn't, he may realize it, he may not, but that makes a big impact on the rest of the guys. Instead of trying to just show off, he's trying to get better. He just wants to get better and be a good player, and he does that. And those are just 2 of the many moments that we have, but there are countless others. And I'm looking forward to, as we move into playoffs tomorrow and into the next couple of weeks, hopefully, that we make some more of those memories as well. So, congratulations, Brandon.
We're going to change things up a little bit because we want to get the baseball guys off to practice. Normally we hear from all the coaches first, and then we have the athletes speak, but I'm going to have Brandon go right now, and then we'll go back to our normal rotation. What we ask our athletes to talk about, and I have to tell you, it's not easy to speak in public, but I think this is a good experience for them going off to college very shortly. But the questions that we ask them are just to give their name, what school they're going to, their most memorable moment with teammates, the lessons they've learned. I feel my best accomplishments in high school were, I'd like to thank, and what I hope to achieve in college and beyond. So that's what each of the athletes will speak about briefly, and we'll start with Brandon.
I play baseball. I'm attending Chesapeake College. My most memorable moment would probably be the Rojo Slam this year. Most of you guys don't know who Rojo is, but we have a team mascot, and it's a kangaroo. And every time someone hits a home run, we choke slam it on the ground. Why? No idea, but I hit a no-doubter in Myrtle this year, and they were holding up. I had no idea what to do, so I choke slammed it. So since then, we call it a Rojo Slam, and yeah. The lessons I've learned at QCHS is it's not the best team that wins, it's the team that plays the hardest. I've seen teams with 9 D1 commits and lose to a team with no college commits at all. I think Coach Pallone drills into players' heads that you gotta work to play. So yeah. I feel like my best accomplishment in high school was making All-League my sophomore year, and then making honorable mention as a catcher this year. I'd like to thank my family, all my football coaches, all my wrestling coaches, all my baseball coaches throughout the years. Conditioning will probably be easier wherever I go with anything. What I hope to achieve in college and beyond, if baseball works out, I'd love to see how far I can ride baseball. If it doesn't, I'll just work the rest of my life in HVAC. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Brandon. And we'll let Coach Pallone and Brandon go to practice. They will be playing a second-round playoff game at Pennsbury tomorrow at 4 o'clock. As the baseball team is leaving, I'm going to ask Coach Anderson to come up and speak about the track ladies.
Still got ice on them, huh?
Took a nice bath for some reason. Oh, yeah, that was video. Hey, what they said? Not broken. He said this
Hello. Coach Anderson, Quakertown Village Track and Field. I'm here to talk about the ladies that are going to go on to college and compete, which we're very proud of and very excited about. First up is Zoe here, going to Immaculata College. I've got some notes. Zoe has a unique skill. She's a triple jumper. That means you jump 3 times in rapid succession. It's very, 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 very difficult, but Zoe can do it very well. She has perfected that during her very busy 4 years here with us. She just got here from outdoor school from Strayer, so just an example of how busy Zoe is. She just pulled in and ran right in. And that's who she is. She's very goal-oriented and driven. Coach Hood likes to say she's a positive self-talker, meaning she's always like to herself and to her teammates. Very supportive. Sorry, was I a little too close? So she's found a school in Immaculata that will allow her to continue her education, of course, and also to get her to allow her to be part of a track team. She's got a very clear path to get to law school, and she's been, I think, really blessed with her choice. And I'm excited for her, as we all are, to kind of still continue to be that balanced student athlete that she's done here in Quakertown. Last year, we voted her the most improved field athlete for her triple jump, and there's a way for her to get better as she goes on to college. Zoe's going to find it, because that's the kind of person she is. Like I said, goal-oriented and driven. So Zoe, best of luck to you next year and for your 4 years and even on to law school, and don't forget us here in Quakertown. Next up is Sammy. Sammy's going to Westchester to run track. We first met in 2020, 10th grade. Sammy came out early in the springtime, like still quite cold, and we were working on starts and getting all excited for the 2020 season. And of course, that didn't happen. So we continue to get excited throughout the pandemic, and outdoor finally came around for junior year, and that was definitely everything we hoped. Sammy can basically do any event. There are 18 in track and field, and she tried them all and succeeded at all of them, from pole vault to sprinting to long jump. At the end of the season of her successful junior year, she was long jumping and ran at leagues, and she aggravated a foot injury that's been something she's had to deal with for her whole storied gymnastics career. She needed surgery that summer, so she and her mom and her family worked really hard to kind of get herself back, rehab, strengthening. And so when she finally came back for indoor the next year, we just kind of wanted to have her on the track and try to reduce the amount of pounding that jumping has, because like she does so much. So she ran the 400, that's her distance. Her 400 got her so far as meet at champs qualifying for the DMR. And if you don't know, the 400 is kind of like the signature event on the track. It takes strength, takes determination. And really, that's what Sammy has, strength and determination. As indoor segued into outdoor, we got to go to Penn Relays. They hadn't offered it in quite some time. And Sammy, of course, has run the 4x4. We're there at UPenn, at Franklin Field. Probably the best athletes in the country are there, is what they say. And so naturally, military recruiters are there too. We're in the stands, just a quick story, we're in the stands, we're watching the meet, and a few of our teammates come back from the athlete courtyard, and they talk about there's a Marine recruiter out there, and they hold up a t-shirt, and one of our teammates is like, yeah, I just did 8 pull-ups to earn this t-shirt. And so we all look at Sammy, because Sammy can do like pull-ups all day long, and she's got this twinkle in her eye. We take strength training pretty seriously for our team for track and field. We like to use the weight room quite a bit, and Sammy's well, she's good at that. So she's sitting there, that twinkle in her eye, and she's like, well, I'd like to go try that. So we go out, we find the booth. There's a lance corporal there, and he confirms that 1 pull-up's like a keychain, and a lanyard, and 4 is a water bottle, and 8's a t-shirt. And his job is to stand there and like count the pull-ups and hold the bar, so because people can get kind of crazy. So Sammy jumps up. There's a crowd. Everyone's cheering. And I have a video. I showed it to you, but it's like a minute long because she was doing pull-ups forever. And she does like 10 or 12, and everyone kind of realizes. And people are clapping and being excited. And Sammy like does that thing where, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie with Sylvester Stallone, but it's called Over the Top, and he's an arm wrestler. And he's arm wrestling, and he's gonna like really turn it on. So he like pauses and he flips his hat around it, and he like beats his opponent. And Sammy kind of does that in the middle of UPenn's campus doing pull-ups. She like does half of them and kind of like just briefly looks around, and everyone's like, no, Sammy, you can keep going. And she's like, okay. And then she does 10 more pull-ups really fast, and she drops down, and the lance corporal's like, and Sammy's looking at him, and he kind of just does this gesture of like, you can have anything you want from this table. Please join the Marine Corps right now, sign up over there. And it's just part of Sammy's persona is her strength, her power, her determination. And we're really pleased that she's moving on to go to Westchester. She has a lot of potential that hasn't even been realized yet. Yeah, there's more, but I want to keep moving. Sammy, good luck. You're very strong. Last but certainly not least is Jade Williams. Has varsity letters from as many seasons as possible for indoor and outdoor track and field. Her accomplishments list is pretty long, so I'll try to go through them quickly. The postseason for outdoor track, there's only been 3, of course, with the shutdowns. 2 of those seasons, she's led the 4x1 relay to district championships. This year, for indoor, she led the 4x2 to state championships at Penn State. There's not many high school athletes that can claim that they ran on the storied bank track at Penn State, but Jade can. She also qualified indoor for the meet of champs for the 60 sprint. She won gold with her team at Meet Champs. The 4x2 there at Lehigh. It was fantastic. I listed in my important things, but I don't want to chip my family and my children, but it's up there in my life for best time ever at Lehigh winning that gold medal that she did. The spring season that she has now, she advanced to the 300 hurdles and she got a silver all-league, top 6 all-time in Quakertown record books that we've been keeping since 1977. And that's the thing about Jade, is that even in her senior year, she wasn't coasting. She took on a new event. 300 hurdles is very difficult. And we're really proud of what she's done. She's basically born and raised track and field. Her parents, they're very important to all of them. So she's a leader, role model. Our warm-ups, her form is impeccable, running form that is, and she does spirit days, team apparel, pen relays real quick. There's only been 2 pen relays in the past 4 years, and she has been in both senior year and then again, or freshman year, then senior year. She helps us increase our time from a 55 to a 50, which is like mediocre to like really good. And that kind of summarizes Jade's contribution to our team, is that she's really helped us to be legit as a track team. And just lastly, the focus on the 300 hurdles, I don't think I made that clear. So she's a senior, and she could have just like done what most of us did as seniors and kind of just coast. She's got those, she could have just rested on her laurels, but she took on a hard event. And that's who Jade is. She triumphs through the highs and the lows at an elite level of high school sports. She shows her resiliency and her determination. That's what all of us educators and coaches kind of hope to see. And that's what we've seen out of Jade, is dedication and resiliency and really high level competition and output. So Jade, good luck to you at Westchester. Hope you take care of Sammy. If you get any trouble, just call Sammy. She'll come take on whoever it is that's getting in your way. All right. Thanks very much, Jade Williams.
Thank you. Next up, Coach Carrie Maha will speak about Abby.
Hello. I am very proud to stand up here and talk about Abby Gilmore. She has been a cheerleader for Quakertown Panthers for 12 years, cheerleading starting her career at QMFA, as many cheerleaders usually do, and then they do that for a couple years and try a different sport and do something else. But Abby is a lifer and cheer. She has, throughout the years, I've watched her grow up to be an amazing cheerleader. She is not only a brilliant bass, but she is also a really good gymnast, which is two of the most amazing things you need to be a cheerleader. So she's really strong, one of our main bases, and she actually is just one of the most spirited girls on the team. You could actually look at her at one of the toughest games to stand at, you know, maybe it's raining, snowing, whatever weather it is, and she always has that big smile on her face, you know, giving it her all. It's one of the main reasons why her team made her, or actually they vote for the captains. We don't pick captains, the team does an all-in-all vote, and they voted for her to be our captain this year. And I think that's an amazing thing, because for her, she's one of those cheerleaders that stuck out at me as her freshman year, and I looked at her and I was like, I think she's potential for captain. And I usually do that for just coaching for 20 years. I can kind of look at girls at their freshman year and be like, she's going to be a captain senior year. And she's one of those people. And it's amazing because she just always loves cheerleading. Her passion is cheerleading. a lot of times, every Friday night going out for those games, you would see her like pumped up, like she's running out on the field with the football players. So she actually just really loves watching football too. It's one of her favorite things. I believe she has her goal in life is to be a sportswoman announcer. So a lot of times I'd ask her about the game and what's going on, and she'd tell me exactly what's happening. So it was amazing to have not only her as a captain, but kind of help the coach out of what just happened on that play there, and she would know exactly what happened. I know my husband would be embarrassed that I don't know a lot of things, but I could always go to Abby and she'd be able to tell me. One of the things, her accomplishments for me, is being on this team and getting through COVID. Really hard for us to get through cheerleading with a mask on. It's hard to stay spirited when you're kind of masked. But she was one of those people that you can see smiling even with her mask on. A lot of accomplishments for being on our team is we've gone to nationals, we did states this year, which for her is an amazing thing. I know that was her goals at the beginning of the year. We like to ask the seniors especially what their goals are, and we achieved them for her, and I'm glad we did. A couple things that not only has she done for our team, but she's also been the last 2 years being a QMFA volunteer coach, and that team went to nationals this year and got second. So she was not only a cheerleader for our team, but also cheering on little cheerleaders, inspiring our little cheerleaders of the future. So I'm very proud to have her inspiring the little ones. I also want to just mention how proud we are of her making the team for Robert Morris. We don't get recruiters coming to watch us cheer. That would be a little weird. But for cheerleading, when you go to college, you actually have to try out, and you're trying out against, you're at a college tryout with other college cheerleaders, not just freshmen coming in, but you're also with the seniors, the juniors, and the sophomores. So it's a little intimidating, and a lot of girls choose not to try out for college cheer, especially their freshman year, because that's a lot. But she went out and she did it, drove all the way out to Pittsburgh and did it, and I'm so proud of her, because that in itself has a lot of spirit, and you have to be willing to put the guts out there, and she always has. Other than that, I just really, I just want to say how proud I am of you, and I'm excited to watch you and see how your cheer journey goes on in a D1 school, and that's all I have about Abby.
Next, I'd like to invite our head boys soccer coach, Bill James, to come up and talk about Caden.
All right, hello, my name is Bill James, head boys soccer coach. Here to talk about Caden. I remember the very first time that Caden's father gave me a phone call over the summertime, and for those who don't know, I've only been with the program for 1 year, so this is my very first year. I knew that Quakertown in the past, at least recent past, has struggled in soccer, so coming in, I knew that there was a lot of work to be done, and we've had a few practices at that point. I saw some of what the kids were doing, but when I got that call from Caden's dad, he's talking about, he's a transfer, he's going to be a senior, he's from Bensalem. I didn't know how great Bensalem was at soccer, but they told me Caden's been playing his entire life, played at FC Bucks, which is a prominent club in Pennsylvania, and then he's moving up here, and he's going to be playing at the Ukrainian club, which is another very prominent club in the area. So I kind of got off the phone, and I kind of had my fingers crossed. I was like, all right, this is good news. But I've been coaching long enough and been told at times that kids were great, or kids, foreign exchange students were going to be amazing because they play on national. So I've seen it all, so I tempered my expectations for sure. But then we had our first practice where he came out, and I was like, yes, I got a kid who can play. This kid's a competitor. He's going to be tough. I knew he was going to be a really good player. So I was super excited about that. one of the things that I knew at Quakertown had struggled with was scoring goals, and in soccer, obviously, it's a really important thing that you need, and he had shown that he had some skills offensively, even though he was a defender, and his father told me he was a defender. And probably one of the mistakes I made was, trying to make him into a forward, but I saw that he had all these great skill sets, and I knew he could score goals, so we worked him into playing it forward, and he did score some really big goals, but I think I probably would have helped out the team a little bit more if I put him in his natural position in the back. But he never complained about it, was fine with doing it, and I was always very thankful that he was a very coachable young man in that regard. One of the things about Caden that I think me and him kind of got along with was he was an extremely competitive person like I am. He doesn't like to lose. It doesn't matter if we're just doing a juggling contest or penalty kicks or something at practice. He wants to win. He doesn't like being around losers. He doesn't like people not putting in the work and trying real hard. And I think me and him kind of struck the same chord there, so we kind of always got along in that way. At times he was so competitive that he had to tell him that he was going against his teammates at practice, and they were his teammates, and he didn't have to kill them to win whatever it was. But I think it's something that will help him in the future, and it will help him with his college career. One of the things that I like to think about now about Caden is I think I've gained a little bit more respect for him since the coaching season has been done, because I started to see him kind of all over the country and how much he was putting into his soccer career. I coach a lot of club soccer. He obviously does some club soccer as well, so I was seeing him at national events in Florida. I saw him in a snowstorm up in upstate New Jersey, and I started to see him all around. And then I started to go to the gym as well, and I started seeing him at the gym every day. And I was like, all right, this kid really wants to be an athlete. And some of the times I would even see him at the gym, and he's telling me that he's going from the gym to another practice for soccer, and that's kind of the work rate that you need to really play at the next level. And I'm excited to follow up on Cade next year, see how he does. I think the structure of college soccer will be good for you, and for all the athletes up here. At college, you're going with the best of the best from all the high schools, so it's no longer big fish in a small pond. Now you're, everybody's big fish, and you got to go out and put in the work, kind of like the baseball player talked about here earlier. And I'm excited to see, from what I've seen over the past few months out of Caden, for him to go and put in the work. Congratulations to everybody, not just Caden, especially my 3 Widener guys out there. I'm a Widener grad, so I know how successful the football team is as well here, and so I'm excited that Widener got 3 of you. But congrats to everybody, and congrats to Caden.
And the rest of our student athletes sitting at the table are part of the football team, so Coach Banis, you got a lot of talking to do.
I'll be short and sweet because Will can't sit still any longer until he wants to get out into the street and fish. So, first of all, I want to congratulate everybody. It's a tremendous accomplishment to go on to play in any sport at the college level, so I wish you all the best of luck. Today's a day about celebrating, and we're celebrating 6 individuals from the football team that have done a tremendous amount of celebrating already this year. We had our banquet and we went through everything, and we had plenty of laughs, plenty of stories, most of which we'll keep to ourselves because they're not school appropriate. But 65 years since we had an undefeated season. And it's taken 65 years to get a special group together that have put in the type of work that they did to have that type of success. You guys are out here out front to look up to them, to know what can happen when you work as hard as they do, because that's what they did. They didn't let each other down, all right? They didn't let each other skip workouts. Will yelled at every single one of them up here, along with Miss Gilmer on the sideline and everybody else probably, to make sure that we were doing what we had to do to win. All right, that's just the mentality of what we had here as a program. This group is obviously going to be special and it's going to be missed. to go 13-1 and to have the season that we had, it's the greatest season in school history, hands down. Nobody can argue it. But that's in the past. I mean, we could talk about all your all-league selections and how many games you won and how many points we scored and how many shutouts we had, and these are all school records and these are all great. And there are going to be things that you talk about in 30 years when you come back for a reunion and you guys are so tight that you're going to stay together and get together every year and talk about it and laugh. But now we're looking forward. 3 of you get to go on the field again and play together and have that camaraderie. 3 of you are going to go onto opposing fields and see each other, on the field, across the lines. I have no doubt that you will be able to make your mark where you're going. I think your work ethic, I think your personality traits are all special and all very unique, that's for sure. But I think that if you stay true to yourself and work as hard as you did here at Quakertown, you're going to be successful at each and every one of your schools and in all of your programs and beyond. I just want to wish you the best of luck. You guys know that I'm always here for you if you ever need anything. And we'll see you back here in a couple years and hopefully helping out with the program here. Good luck.
All right, now we get to hear from our athletes. Zoe, you are up first. Zoe's not going to take this personally.
Sorry, we got mini camp. Sorry.
All right, here's Zoe.
Hi, my name is Zoe Kartsonis, and I'm going to be running track and field at Immaculata University. I'm a jumper, so as Mr. Anderson said, my specialty is triple jump, but I also compete in long jump, 100-meter hurdles, and high jump. And I love jumping. I was a gymnast growing up, and I wanted to transfer my skills from gymnastics to a different sport, and jumping and track was the thing for me. The most memorable moment I have from my time on the track team was last year at the Souderton scrimmage when it absolutely downpoured on the entire team and we were absolutely soaked to the bone. You could squeeze my jacket and so much water would just fall out, and it was just the worst weather you could imagine, but we all stuck through it and we all cheered each other on and we made the best out of the situation. Despite the cold rain, we stuck through it, we helped everyone succeed, and we just worked together and united as a team. All of my coaches have helped me succeed, and not only through actually coaching me, but through encouraging me and putting so much effort and care into our team. A big lesson I learned from track is that giving up is absolutely just pointless. Always try again and apply yourself. I've learned that through jumping, as you get 3 shots for each jump, and sometimes you might have a first jump that's terrible, and then you might have a second jump that's terrible, but you never know, the third one might be your PR, which brings me to my favorite memory and biggest accomplishment, and that was at the Wissahickon meet we had this year, and same thing happened there. I had really bad shin splints, and I did 2 really bad jumps, but then the third one, I got my PR for the season, and I was really excited about that. And I would like to thank my family, my coaches, my friends, and everyone here for supporting me and making my time on the track team and in Quakertown unforgettable. I hope to improve every day in college and academically and athletically, and eventually I plan to attend law school and hopefully become a prosecutor. But during my time at college, I'm so excited to just keep jumping and improving and keep getting those PRs. So, thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Sammy?
I'm Sammy Radzai, and I'll be running track and field at Westchester University. I mostly do the 400, that's like my main event, which is one lap around the track, but I can really do any sprint under that, and I also do long jump. My most memorable moment was Penn Relays, and just being able to run there and see all these really elite athletes in such a big arena was such a good experience. And Mr. Anderson said with the pull-ups, that was one of my favorite memories because all the girls around me just started cheering for me, and it was a really good atmosphere. And it's just track, everyone supports each other. I'll go to meets and it's girls from other teams like cheering me on, and track is just such a great sport. So something I learned from doing track at this school is that you shouldn't be trying to compete against the girl or the person next to you. Instead of trying to compete against your teammates, just try to be better than you were yesterday, because it's not really competition between everyone on the team. You're on a team together, not against each other, so just try to be better than you were the day before. My best accomplishment was my 400 PR at leagues, and the whole outdoor season I was pretty much stuck at a 63 for the 400, which is like a minute and 3 seconds to run the whole thing. And leagues was the same day as prom, and I remember I was in lane 2, and all the time I'm just told, get out. The first 200 just has to be really fast, and that's something I just always struggled with because I was always afraid to burn out at the end. But it was the last meet, and I just really wanted a PR, so I went out and I ran a 61, which is like 1 second off from districts, but it was really good to end the season with a PR. I'd like to thank God for guiding me and challenging me, my family, especially my parents and my brother, for always supporting me and always trying to help me improve. I'd like to thank Mr. Anderson for always being positive and encouraging, and for helping me so much in the 1-year track that I was able to have. I also thank Hood for being able to be stern with the team, and for making sure that I see the positive in every meet, no matter what. I'd like to thank Parsons for making sure I was never completely satisfied. I enjoyed my PRs, but I could always get out faster. What I hope to achieve in college and beyond is to get a good degree so I can get a good job after college, and to have a good college track career, and hopefully qualify for QCHS.
Thank you, Sammy. Jade?
Hi, I'm Jade Williams. I'm continuing my athletic career in track and field at Westchester University. My most memorable moment is definitely Meet of Champs and then going to states. So at Meet of Champs, you have to be top 8, one of the top 8 teams in the 4x2 to go to states. And I think we were like 10th, the 10th fastest team out of 23 teams there. So we were like, okay, let's just run it. We'll see what happens. And we ended up actually winning the whole race. We got first place in the 4x2, which qualified us for states. So of course we had to get our shirts and take pictures, and the photographers just taking pictures of us, and it was definitely a memorable moment with my whole teammates. And then we went to states at Penn State, and it was a great bonding time in the van. It's like 3-hour drive with Mr. Anderson driving, and with the music blaring, and then just playing card games and just spending time with my teammates in the hotel room. And then when we got to Penn State, we actually had the opportunity to run on the bank track, and none of us had ever run on a bank track before. And then we made so many friends there, and we were cheering them on in their races, and it was just an entirely great experience. So the lesson that I learned at Quakertown playing soccer and running track It is not only important to train your body, it's also important to train your mind, so train it well. Some of my accomplishments that I have experienced in track and field is getting a varsity letter my freshman year. I was not expecting that, but I was very proud of myself. We were 10th in the state in the 4x2, and also picking up hurdles 2 months into the season and then receiving all league in the 300 hurdles. I started the season running 50.91, and then I finished the season running a 47.84. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and my brother for always supporting me through my athletic and academic career at Quakertown. And then I would also like to thank Coach Farrell. He's not here, but he was my indoor coach my freshman year, and he pushed me to my limits. And I feel like I'm going to be ready for college with all my coaches. I would also like to thank Coach Parsons for letting me run with the distance girls to get ready for 300 hurdles, and for always pushing me and holding my block for the 300 hurdles and telling me I need to get out as fast as I can. I would like to thank Coach Sierra. She holds a record here in the 300 hurdles, and she took her time out of her day on the weekends to help me train for them. I would like to thank Coach Hood. I don't long jump or triple jump, but he always used to check on me in the hallways to make sure I'm okay, and if I'm mentally ready for the 300 hurdles or the 4x1, and that definitely helped me. And I would especially like to thank Coach Anderson for being there all 4 years of my track season, and really just making it one of the best years ever. Senior year was my best year with all my coaches, and I wouldn't be able to get to the next level without them. My future achievements is to continue to set goals in my athletic and academic career and reach those goals. I aspire to be the best athlete I can in college, and I hope to work in the sports marketing field and dabble in the digital design field. I also realize that my plan may change, but whatever it is, I decide I want to reach those goals and beyond and be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. Abby.
Hi, my name is Abby Gilmer, and I will be furthering my academic and athletic career at Robert Morris University. Over the past 4 years, I have experienced some pretty memorable moments with my teammates, such as the bus ride homes from football games, where we would blast music and sing on the bus, or the days that we spent out in the woods at cheer camp. But to me, the most memorable moment had to be stepping off that mat for the last time as a Panther at Suburban 1. This moment was filled with happiness and sadness, as I knew that I was no longer going to be cheering with my best friends, but I also knew that bigger and better things were in front of me. Although I have learned many lessons over these years, I think for me the hardest lesson that I had to learn is that not everybody is going to be your biggest fan. Whether that's because they don't like what you do, they don't like you, they don't understand what you do, or they simply just don't care, there is always going to be people who try and knock you down, but over the years I've learned how to use that as my motivation to never give up and to keep pushing myself past my limits. For my biggest accomplishments as a high school athlete, it has to be getting the opportunity to compete at states my senior year, like Carrie had mentioned. Freshman year, I was unable to compete as I was on JV. Sophomore year, I was injured, and junior year, we just didn't make it. So going into this previous season, I knew that this was my absolute last chance to do it, and we had a pretty rough season, so getting this opportunity was definitely something that I really looked forward to and I really appreciate. Over the past 12 years, I have had the most amazing support system that I could ever ask for, so I'd like to thank all of my coaches from QMFA to high school who have helped me push me past my limits and never gave up on me even when I may have given up on myself. I'd also like to thank my family and my friends who have supported my crazy passion for this sport and always pushed me to be my best, and I'd like to give a special shout out to Coach Carrie and my mom for always being my biggest cheerleaders. Although the future can sometimes be unpredictable, I hope to compete at NCAA Nationals in Daytona on the bandshell, to learn and grow not only as a person but as a cheerleader as well. I wish to earn my degree in sports broadcasting, and I hope that one day I'll be able to fulfill my goals as the lead sideline reporter for the NFL. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Caden.
My name is Caden McSeed, and I'll be attending Eastern University and playing soccer. My most memorable moment was playing New Hope Salisbury and scoring the winning goal with 2 minutes left. And I remember blowing the kid a kiss because he was just talking in my ear the whole game. So I did my little celebration, blew him a kiss, and won the game. The lesson I learned from participating in QCHS sports is just show up and work hard, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter where you're playing or what you're doing, just show up and work hard. I feel my best accomplishment during sports was getting honorable mention, playing out of position. I felt like that helped me become a better soccer player and bettered me and enabled me to get to Eastern University to play soccer. I'd like to thank my coach, Coach Bill, for pushing me, and no matter how hard on him I was being, no matter how hard on him he was being, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not used to this, but no matter how hard he was being on me, we just connected and it was fun. What I hope to achieve in college is just have a successful college, play 4 years of soccer and graduate and get my business degree and just live a successful life. And I would also like to thank my parents and my friends and my teachers putting up with me. Everyone knows I'm a special kid. I don't know what to say, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Caden. Blake.
My name is Blake Griesmer. I play football, and I'll be attending Black Haven University next year. My most memorable memory with all my teammates would be making history at Downtown East. Also, definitely beating Penn Ridge on Thanksgiving. It's always a great time when you shut out Penn Ridge. But the lessons I've learned from Quakertown is definitely that success will only come if you work for it. I mean, you can tell based off our record. I feel my best accomplishments in high school were definitely becoming all-league as a lineman. And then I'd like to thank everyone who's ever supported me throughout this process, most importantly, my mom and all my coaches for pushing me to always be at my best. And what I hope to achieve in college and beyond is to continue a great education along with football, and after school I hope to become successful in the business world. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Dylan.
I'm Dylan Harrison. I'll be playing football at Wilkes University. One of my most memorable memories was probably the senior night game. Probably one of the worst nights of my life. It was a downpour. It was freezing cold. I would use the underclassmen as like a little coat. I'd make them all like get around me so I'd warm up a little bit. Some of the lessons that I learned from participating in sports at QCHS are don't give up, and nothing's granted, so you have to work for everything that you want. I feel like one of my best accomplishments is just being a part of this team and being able to be a part of history now, I guess, and that's going to be in the books forever. I'd like to thank my family for always being there for me, supporting me, and always pushing me. I'd like to thank Coach Bannis. He's helped me with a lot. We've been through our ups and downs, but he's always been there for me, and I thank you for that. And what I hope to achieve in college and beyond is just to have a successful 4 years playing football there, and hopefully go to do big things in the business world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Freddie?
I'm Fred Redder. I will be playing Kutztown football next year. One of my most memorable moments was beating Downingtown in the playoffs. There's a lot of good ones this year. Team dinners, I'll always remember. And on the wrestling side of things, getting pictures at States with all the smiling coaches and teammates was a really great time too. Some lessons I learned was that hard work is the only path to success. We had a rough season our sophomore year, and we really turned it around until we were seniors. My best accomplishments were having the best Quakertown season ever in football and arguably wrestling too. I also am grateful that I placed third at states. I want to thank my family, my coaches for 4 great seasons, and my teammates in wrestling and football who worked hard in the off season so that we could have an awesome and winning senior season. In the future, I would like to work my way up to a full scholarship and keep catching lots of big fish.
Thank you, Freddie. Anthony.
I'm Anthony Schiller. I plan to play football at Widener University. My most memorable moment with my teammates and coaches was probably beating Penridge this year. And we didn't get to do that our sophomore and junior year, so it was nice to finally have a win over them. A lesson I learned from participating in sports at the high school was to don't stop, keep working. Face a lot of obstacles, you just got to move past them and just keep working because you'll eventually get there. I feel my best accomplishment was getting all-league on both sides of the ball this year and just being able to be a part of this team and being able to work with my teammates. I'd like to thank my coaches, my family, my teammates, everyone for helping me get better. And what I hope to achieve in college and beyond, I plan to study civil engineering and hopefully just move on to the engineering field. That's it.
Thank you, Anthony. Will?
My name is Will Stike. I'm going to the University of Widener to play football. My most memorable moment was probably the Satterton playoff game after we won, because it was my first playoff win. The biggest lesson I learned in QCHS was you might not always get what you want, but if you complain enough, you'll get some of what you want. So my biggest accomplishment was just going from 3-8 my sophomore year to 13-1 my senior year. I'd like to thank my parents, coaches, everyone I played for, especially Coach B back there. He's helped me out a lot these past 3 years. And I hope to achieve greatness in college. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. And Tyler.
My name is Tyler Woodman, and I'm going to be attending Widener University to play football. My most memorable moment with my teammates and coaches was running back the first kickoff of the season for Triple Hop Play of the Year and beating Penridge our senior year. The lessons I learned was that to always work hard. Some of my biggest accomplishments was that this was the best season ever in Quakertown history. And I'd like to thank my coaches, my teammates, and my family for being my #1 supporters. And in college, I'd like to achieve a 4-year degree in business and economics and get a career right out of college. Thank you.
Thank you to all our student athletes. As many of you know, speaking in public is not easy, and I think all 12 people did an outstanding job. We need to give them a round of applause. Again, on behalf of Quakertown Community High School, Congratulations. We are very proud of what you've done in high school. We wish you the best of luck going to your college careers, and let us know how things are going in the future. Coaches, please stay. We'd like to get pictures of coaches with their athletes and some other group pictures. Family, please stay. We'll get some pictures with you with your athlete as well. But that concludes today. Again, congratulations and a round of applause.